Folks, I gotta get this off before I forget. So Ephesians 5 talks about the love cycle, right? And in that, well, it talks about the love respect cycle. Pastor Joel Tutman preached on that Wednesday night yesterday, 5/17, and it made me think about, because I was just talking about mate-hate cycle and what causes the mate-hate cycle. We don't do the right cycle. So I hate telling what's wrong without coming back and saying something that's right. So the right thing to do is respect your man, and the right thing to do is love your woman. Somebody got to start, somebody got to reciprocate. And without the reciprocity, guess what? You're going to stop the cycle of the relationship. So let me give some examples, because sometimes we think respect is what we want to give versus what is due, what a person deems as respect. And that's the unique relationship that you create when you become one with another. So, for example, if your man is moving furniture for you, at the very least you can open the door for him or ask him if he needs some help. Give him the opportunity to say no or whatever. And I mean, especially if he bought it home to you or something like that. So oftentimes, and I mean, at the very least offer him a back rub if he moved it by itself. But so many times people they got their mind set up that I'm going to only do this for you, and that should be good enough because I ain't got to do nothing for you. And when we have these attitudes of pride, guess what? Love will not reciprocate disrespect. It will not reciprocate well, let me put it like this. There is unconditional love, okay? And it can give, but it can give out. And get to the point where it's tired. And then you have to do a lot of work to get that bill back up. And guys, when you do not love, 1 Corinthians 13 love. Now we can sit up here and talk about lust all day and, giving roses, and some women could care less about a rose. They want an orchid or a Venus flytrap or something like that. I mean, they want something specific. But the point I'm trying to make is, when you're in a deficit of love or respect, you have to keep giving it until it comes in abundance, when you've allowed someone else to give out. And sometimes people don't forgive. You're dealing with human beings. Even though the Christian Bible commands us to forgive, to walk in love, and it doesn't say we have to restore relationships, because God recognizes the hardness of the hearts. That's why Moses permitted divorce, because people's hearts get hard. And it's just like, I done did this for the last 5, 10, 15 years. You ain't changed. You ain't doing nothing. It's crazy. And also in our loving, we have to learn to love ourselves as well. Because I know some guys who have never told their wife no. Never. And you never stood up to your wife. And that's why she just walked all over you. And I know some guys who never bent their hardness. They never softened their hardness to their wife and hardened her heart to stop being respectful. So it goes both ways, and I don't want to be biased to either side, and if I was, please forgive me, because that's one thing I do hate, not being balanced and making both male and female counterparts accountable in the relationship. And I'm strictly talking to traditional relationships. I can't talk to any other relationship because I'm not familiar with that. I'm only going to talk about what I know about. But one thing I do know, no matter where you are, love conquers all. It's easier for a woman to love a man than it is for her to respect a man. Oftentimes, she knows or thinks she knows more than what's obvious. I'm not sure I articulated it correctly, but sometimes the woman may know more than the man thinks she knows, and sometimes she thinks she knows more than the leader in the situation, the man in the situation, and that can cause frustration. But the point I'm trying to articulate is the respect says I give people time to process. I help out in the situation. I nurture in ways that I can to take away any stress in the situation. And guys, we have to make sure we're loving and patient, kind, and tenderhearted. All those fruits of the spirit, especially listed in 1 Corinthians 13. When we do those, it's easier for the woman to respect. But remember this, there are no ifs and thens in the relationship. Ephesians 5 has no ifs and thens in there. It's do this, you do that. That's what it says. And you never know how you'll win somebody over by being consistent in your faith walk with a good attitude. A lot of times we have a bad attitude. We'll do something with a bad attitude and it's not received. Serve as unto the Lord. Be a cheerful giver. Not just of tithes, but of your resources, your efforts, your energy, your love, your gifts, whatever it is. Be a cheerful giver. See, that attitude is the distinction between breakthrough and breakdown. Relationships break down because we keep putting a monkey wrench in the cycle of love and respect. So I pray that I have answered. You know what? Let me go further. If a woman thinks that the only thing she needs to offer is sex, she is worthless. She's worthless. If all you giving is sex, you're worthless. People need to eat, bills need to get paid. I mean, you know, you can go online and find sex for free, for pay, you know, however. I mean, that's no. People need intimacy, need real relationship, need real conversation. And guys, ladies need the same thing. They need intimacy. They need to feel secure. They need to feel their trust needs to be built in you. They need you to provide, protect, and make sure that they are made to feel secure in the relationship. These are just non-negotiables, so that love and respect can reciprocate. There are no ifs. Both parties have to do their part. And guys, if you think all you can do is pay bills, that's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. We need to communicate about something other than how good you're going to lay it down or how you paid the bills. And especially if you're throwing it up in somebody's face, who wants somebody that's going to keep badgering them about, you know, what you did 2 months ago? What have you done for me lately? And it goes both ways. What have you done for me lately? So I wanted to make sure I gave more examples or whatever. Relationship calls for intentionality, calls for work, calls for us aligning as a team to work together toward a common goal. That's the ship that's carrying us somewhere. The mission and vision. If you married and you don't have a mission and vision statement in your marriage, guess what? It's doomed to fail, because the standard's gonna keep changing over and over and over again. You're gonna keep, I mean, what do you have to live up to? Like, real talk, what do you have to live up to? What standard is there? So You know, think about where you want to go, where you're headed, what ship it, how the ship is carrying you from one destination to the other. So I just pray that relationships work for somebody. I pray relationships work for somebody. Learn from the mistakes of others, of the do's and the don'ts. Stop putting conditions on everything. Just do your part. One or two things gonna happen. God gonna pull that person away, or he gonna turn their heart. I'm watching a married couple have transition in their relationship from the man finally being a man and standing up to his wife and not just doing everything, you know, she asking him to do. Just standing up and say, hey, you know what? I love you. I take care of you. I do my part. But I'm not obligated to do it. I'm not obligated to be your slave in this relationship. I serve God. I serve my family. I go to work. I'm not required to do anything else. And she noticed the change in him, and she is following that love. And see, the love is he finally loving himself. Remember, nobody will love you until you love yourself. And you love yourself when you take a stand for yourself, when you set boundaries for yourself, when you improve your mental health. So, I mean, everybody got their part. Do your part.